It's it! It's over! And Zebre have a first away win in 36 URC matches. Fiona Coghlan, you can say it's high time. The Italians have done it.
And well deserved as well. They were the better team here tonight. Ulster really disappointing, but their defence there at the end just typified it for them. They were surviving on only 38% possession throughout the game. You know, they took their tries really well. I thought Garcia was absolutely outstanding in attack and directing them, but also defensively at times.
Oh, wow.
He just was unbelievable, the 10-time capped Argentinian. But yeah, well-deserved victory for Zebre. Ulster, really poor performance by them. But when you think about Zebre, like how that's changed their season, you know, they had a win against Munster, bonus point win against Munster at home. They had a win against Ospreys at home, and now to come away on the road 36 times going on the road with no win is a tough place to be.
Would you ever board a flight again if you were 36 times without a win? In fairness to them, but today they turned up and they took this fight to Ulster.
They did, and in the first half, their defence on their try line, when they went down to 14 players, when Stavali went off, you know, they didn't concede any points, and just well deserving of that win in a pretty poor spectacle. But what a day for them.
They won't mind, no pictures on the scorecard, and the scorecard, if you're a Zebre fan, is very pleasing indeed. Ulster 14, Zebre 15. Jackie.
Fiona, thank you. Darren, I'm not quite sure what to say. This is not a game that anybody gave Zebre a chance in. How have they come here and won this?
Yeah, I'm still not sure, to be honest. And even like when we're coming into this game, I think they scored 14 tries so far this year. They scored 2 in round 1 and 6 against Munster in round 2. So since then, they're averaging like close to half a try a game, which is absolutely dire. So I was not expecting them to come here this evening to ask so many questions of Ulster and to score a couple of tries. I think you're always left, Bernard and I were talking during the game, like it's pretty obvious that all Ulster were dreadful, but Zebre were good as well, and at the minute I'm still sort of figuring out where I stand on that, because definitely a bit of both.
Yeah, that's fair. And look, Bernard, you made the point at half-time that they have been given reason this week to fight for their futures, and look at these pictures here. Like, this is a team, as Hugh said there, 36 games on the road. This means an awful lot to them.
Yeah, they've had a lot of dark reviews on Mondays and a lot of long trips back, and they deserve to enjoy this, and especially the manner in which they won it, obviously having to defend their own 22. Jake Flannery was back in the pocket. You know, that would have been cruel for them. I thought when Giovanni Montemari missed that kick to go 18 points up, or 18 points to 7, that could have been a killer for them, but they found a way to win. Massive credit to them. It'll give them a huge boost, obviously, towards the end of the season. But this is, look, we can't ignore how poor Ulster was and our work tonight. And you know, they were very poor earlier on in the year when they lost to Cardiff away. And this is probably even worse, you know. And Richie said at the start of the season it's going to be dark days, but I think he would be disappointed that, given some of the performances, the Connacht away game, the Exeter home game last week, that now is the time the teams should start showing a bit more maturity. And it certainly looked like they, as players, they were overconfident and just thought it was going to happen. And when Zebre didn't fold, Ulster found it hard to find, I suppose, the right keys during the game, and there were just very, very disappointing performance for them. Even without their internationals, Zebre had club players playing who are semi-pro, so that, you know, Ulster should have been good enough to go win that game with a bonus point.
I understand their internationals are away, and you can always make a case for those kind of moments, Darren, but we identified before the game the run that Ulster are on, the next block of games they have. This was like a 5-pointer, had it written all over it. This is no doubt a massive, massive setback.
Yeah, when you look through the league, and even when I was playing for Ulster, I always felt like when the internationals was away was normally a good thing for Ulster, because it doesn't, you know, it's not like your Leinster or Benetton or Zebre. You're not missing 10, 11, 17 players. And this is just, I think, you know, you refer to Richie saying about the dark days. I think that's fair enough, and you can forgive them for, you know, shipping points to Bordeaux and to lose, but I don't think anyone would have expected a dark day to be a result like that. There's young guys, but they're good enough players to produce better than that. Most of the season's been about how poor their defence has been. I was really surprised by just how Zebre were organised in defence and they were physical. Like, I get it, but I very, very disappointed that they couldn't create more to challenge and make it difficult for that Zebre defence. And as you both mentioned, like, a word on that, it's hard as an Ulster, ex-player and fan not to be disappointed, but for the league, it's good to see.
Yeah, it is. And look, they're behind us here. You can imagine they're going to be a long time getting off that pitch, Bernard, because those are moments for these Zebre players that they have waited an awful long time to have something like this. Maybe it is something that ignites Italian rugby. We're looking ahead to a Six Nations in a couple of weeks. Obviously, Ireland going to Rome on that final day. You want them to be part of the party. You want them to be celebrating like this.
Yeah, and Benetton have had those moments, beating La Rochelle in the Champions Cup, beating Bath, qualifying, but these have had nothing. They've been living off scraps. Their future has been in jeopardy, and tonight is just 80 minutes. But I thought the club players who came in with the Zebre players who are full-time professional, they obviously got their heads right and came here, and I agree with Darren. I mean, for Ulster at home against Zebre, they only scored 14 points. The conditions in the second half actually weren't bad at all. There was just apathy there in terms of what they're trying to do.
All right, let's get some reaction then from the Italians with Conor.
Jackie, thank you. The winning captain, Luca Bigi, is alongside me. Incredible scenes just behind you on the pitch. What does this mean to you and the Zebre Parma players?
Obviously, beat Ulster at home, it's a tick on your career, I think. So it's a massive goal for us. But the good performance on the team came from basics, came from process. On the last penalty kick that we consider, as we did in the last few games that we lost from a couple of points in the past, but the focus and the strong mentality of the team today was great. So I'm really proud of the team and of the performance. 80 minutes on the pitch is going to be tough for me as a older one, but I'm incredibly proud.
Look, to put it into context, it's over 4 years since you won away in the URC, 5 years since you won outside Italy, 36 games on the points. What can this do for the remainder of your season and to galvanise this group?
I think nothing can change because we've been working so hard during the week. We've been working with clear KPIs for what we can be measured on our performances. Obviously, we were talking about performance every game. In the last few games in Challenge Up, we didn't it. So it was a really step forward. Now have to be focused on recover. We're going to have a few days off now and then back on track against Edinburgh at home, then Glasgow, then we are off to South Africa. So they're going to be tough second part of the season, but game like that is going to incredible. So we're really proud.
Enjoy the celebrations. Cheers. Many congratulations on an historic night.
Thank you.
Yeah, certainly a historic night for them. He mentioned the last gasp moment. Let's take a look at this, Darren, because Ulster had the winning of the game here. You just wonder, how did this happen?
Yeah, and it was quite symptomatic of the game. Ulster, the first couple of phases, did get a bit of momentum. You could see they were in the pocket here, ready for the drop goal. I wondered, was it quite early to go for the drop goal, and could they generate a little bit of momentum? But we said it. They stuck at it all night. They weren't afraid to put to get in over that ball, make it difficult for Ulster. And even interested in listening to Conor Morris's questions there. Every time he asked a question, the result in context got worse because he said 36 away games, and then he said 4 years since they won away, and then he said 5 years since they won away outside Italy. So he needs to stop landing the blows.
But it's amazing how how the mind works. They've had nothing. They've been terrible in the Challenge Cup, and they come here and get a famous win.
Yeah, it was incredible. A huge night for them. Certainly not for Ulster. Let's hear from Nick Timoney. He's with Conor.
Yes, Nick is standing by with me. A tough night at the office for everyone involved with Ulster. Nick, how did you see that game develop?
Yeah, I guess it just didn't really, from our point of view. We just weren't good enough. They came out, managed the conditions a bit better than us in the first half, and then when it dried up in the second half a bit, we were slow to get going. We almost came back at the end there, but it wasn't enough. We just weren't good enough.
Look, there's a long list of injuries. The international players are away. Zebre have a poor record on the road. The excuses are all there if you want them, but I'm pretty sure you won't take any of them.
No, we know we're not nearly as good as we need to be. That's been evident all season. We've had a couple of good results. We just need to make sure that we're not masking those things with those results. We certainly took nothing for granted this week. I know we had a decent result last week, but we know we're nowhere near where we need to be yet. So that was the same before tonight. It's the same now, but it's very disappointing. Yeah.
Many thanks, Nick. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, good, honest assessment from him, saying they're nowhere near where they need to be. Where do they go from here, Bernard?
they obviously have a bit of time off now, a bit of a gap. As he said, not let the couple of good wins they've had mask it. I actually don't think they're as bad. They're nowhere near as bad as they were tonight. Maybe they're more reliant on their internationals than other provinces. We've seen Munster and Leinster win. Obviously, Connacht had a close loss away to Glasgow, but certainly they just need to keep building and get it right. I think there's definitely has to be some complacency there. They mightn't have sounded like it. Timoney maybe didn't, because he turns to be good every week, but certainly the way they played that first half, you'd worry where they were mindset-wise.
Yeah.